Hello everybody and welcome to your second DiaHero.net HTML tutorial. If you were here with us last lesson, we went over the basic things you need in order to do an HTML document. We went over the head, which you absolutely need. Well, actually you don't absolutely need it, but you should probably keep it in there. And we also went over the HTML tags, how you need both of these to close this. You need the closing tag and you need the opening tag too. We also went over the meta for a little bit. I'm not too crazy about the meta at this moment, but we will go over more of it later. And also, if you'll remember, we went over the body, how you can set a background color, and we also went over how to put your very first link, which is to my webpage. Go to it now. And well, that's actually all we went over. See, this is what happens when you ad-lib. Sometimes you talk way too much. But today, we're going to go over some new things. We're going to go over how to put an image on your website, and also how to write out font if you want to write out something. So let's do it. Let's get this over quick so you guys can do whatever you want to do after. So let's go to this. I already prepared this for you guys. As you can see, it's quite bland. If you're using the regular notepad, it's going to look exactly like this. But what we want to do right now, well, you don't have this, but you can get it at my site. I have it all listed up there for you. But what we want to do now is we're just going to save it. And remember, always save it as .html. So let's just put this lesson 2.html. And don't worry if you don't have all this down right now. This is more just to go over so you guys have an idea of what exactly we're doing. I'm going to keep this up for a little bit afterwards. You guys can pause the screen and then copy it down, or you can go to my website and copy and paste it. But right now we're just going to save it. Remember, save it .html. That's very important or it won't work. If you have a nifty Notepad++ like I do, you'll see that everything's highlighted like this. It's perfect. I recommend downloading it. Just type in Notepad++ and download the first thing you see on Google if you want to get it. But let's just go over this real quick. We already went over this stuff just a second ago, but remember, HTML, you need the end tag too, and the body, just like we talked about before. If you want it black, 000, and if you want it different, just put different numbers there. Remember, that's red. Oops. Here we go. That's red, that's green, and that's blue. So whatever color you want, just list them there. And they have lists of these online too. So if you don't know exactly what color you want, you can look online and get a pretty good idea. But let's go into what we're going to do today. Here's the paragraph heading. Again, we talked about that. That's just to separate things, just, more for you than for anything else. But here's the paragraph heading. We want to center this, right? We don't want it on the left side or the right side. We don't want to be sloppy. But here's div style. Basically what div style is, it's just one way to format your font and pictures. In this case, position absolute. All that means is, I'm going to take a sip of my Coke. Hold on. Basically, all that means is that you want the position to be absolutely like this. You don't want it to change. So you want it to be top. You want it to be exactly 500 pixels from the top. No different. That's all the absolute means. It's nothing complicated. And here's the z-index. All the z-indexes is, when your page is, and when you have your page and you want to put pictures and stuff and font over it, if you don't put z-index, then they're just going to go one after the other. They're not going to overlap each other or anything like that. All the z-index does is it just tells the document that, hey, I want this 7th in place. Or hey, I want this, 6 in place. That's all it is. Right now, it's not going to be that important. I just want you guys to keep this in your head for future lessons. But padding, let's not get into that. It's not that important right now. But here we go. Here's the good stuff. Here's font. Now, when you want to write stuff on your web page, all you got to do is you just got to put the font here. You got to put the color, what you want. You can put black, pink, whatever you want, and then the size too. Put that too. But here, let's just basically write something out here like, hey, I'm awesome, and I'm using font. Cool. Alright, end tag, font, you got it, done. And now here's the div thing. This is just to wrap up this thing. And, you know, here's the center thing. And look what I did. Jeez. And that's an end tag for center. Alright. And then the end tag for the paragraph. That wraps that all up. Good job, you guys. You're smart. Now let's go on to this. Here's another center tag. We want to do... See, I didn't put the P for here, but let's just do it. Just to be cool. Alright. Div style. This time we have position relative. Relative basically is when you have the browser, you know, in specific, you know, basically if you want the browser in, geez, I'm bad at explaining things, aren't I? Alright, let's say you want to have your window like this, you know, and you have your image right here, and you want the image to be in the same place even when you maximize it. And remember this thing right here, that's our image, even though it's just font right now, but that's the image. Say you want it in the same place when you maximize it, then you just put the position relative, and so that way it stays in the same place. If you don't, then it's just going to stay, you know, to the side there. At least that's what I understand of it. I might be wrong, but I think I am right. Now let's go to div style, position absolute again. Now we got the top 80 pixels down. Remember we were talking about here. All that means is just 80 pixels down. And now we're adding, what's this? We're adding a new thing. We're adding left. It's 400 pixels from the left. Remember? 400 pixels from the left, absolute. I don't want you to change it. That's all it means. Okay, and we got the z-index. Already talked about that. Padding, you know what? Screw padding. I don't want to deal with it right now. And now we got the image SRC. And SRC, don't even worry about what it stands for. We don't care. All it means is image. You just gotta, you know, the computer just is gonna interpret that as image. But you gotta include the SRC. You gotta include the IMG. And here's the subcap right here, subcap.jpg. And you know what? Let's find a picture right now, okay? Let's go in our browsers. Let's hope nothing bad's up here. No, everything looks okay. Let's go to electrical ballast. I don't know why I have that up there, but apparently it's there. Alright, this is a Wikipedia picture, so it's probably not going to show up because they like to make things tricky. But let's just do this. Let's just save this picture as... Come on. Alright, tanning starter. I don't really like that. Let's change it to subcap.jpg. Let's put it on desktop and let's save it, okay? And remember, we're going to save our document to desktop too, lesson 2. We're saving it to desktop. And you know, you have to save it in the same place that you're going to have, you have to save your image in the same place that you're going to have your HTML thing. And we got to wrap this up soon. I'm running that time. But, okay. Here we go. We already saved that as subcap, remember. Let's see. See, it's right there. And it's in the same place that we saved lesson 2 as. And here's the alt. That's just, alt just means like what's going to show up if somebody has a browser and for some reason the picture doesn't show up. This is the text that's going to show up. Not that important, really. Here's the width. You got to say the width of the picture. I'm not sure what it is. Generally, you should put the exact thing. I've heard what the picture really is, but for right now, let's just put it 408. It's going to be really misshapen, but let's just do it. We're just going to put 408 and 66. 408 width, 66 height for that picture we were talking about, subcap. Alright, and here's the slash div, just to close these things up, and slash p to close this up, and slash center to close that up, and dot slash HTML. Okay, let's see if I did this right. We're going to save it. Alright. And let's do this because I haven't taught you yet how to put up a web page. You know how to actually sign up for one. We're just going to do it in our browser. And see, this is why you don't do these things. You ad-lib these things because this is what happens. Let's save this to the desktop. Rob. Oh my god, I already saved the desktop. I am an idiot. But let's find this. You guys see it? I don't see it. Alright, let's sort it by date modified. Oh geez, alright, here we go, lesson 2. Let's open it up. Let's cross our fingers, hope everything's alright. Okay, well here it is. I told you it was going to be horribly misshapen, but here it is. And look at our text. Hey, I'm awesome, and I'm using font. Alright you guys, I have been dragging this thing out forever. Remember, go to diehero.net for more tutorials on everything cool. And this is Rob, and I hope you guys join me for the next one. Thank you.